We started NELA in 1985. We got together in a hotel room in Florida, and we were on the way.
A number of us attended an ABA meeting in which it was individual rights, I think, and there was about, it appeared to me to be 800 defense lawyers and about 7 plaintiffs' lawyers. And Paul said, let's have our own bar association.
Well, I don't think any of us envisioned an organization with 2,500 or 3,000 members when there were 6 or 7 of us in the room there. But we really did imagine that this could be really something special.
Several of us got calls from Paul Tobias. I remember exactly where I was in my house when I got a call from someone I'd never heard of, telling me that he wanted to start an organization of plaintiffs' lawyers. And I remember saying, you know, I'm not an organization kind of guy, but it was pretty compelling. And once we met with the other really terrific, creative, and wonderful people in the room, magic happened.
The first convention in Lake Tahoe was really an extraordinary event. We were really terrified that we were going to give a party and nobody would come.
And I was praying that we'd get a few people there. We had 150. I was so pleased. I had so much fun at that convention. I knew we were on the road.
The first T-shirt called the gathering the Just Cause Conspiracy. And I think it made Paul nervous a little bit at first. But I think that word and that phrase not only defined what we were in fact, but created the feeling and the vibe. And interestingly, it's true today.
My very first NELA convention, they introduced the president, who at the time was Joe Golden, who then walked up to the podium wearing flip-flops, shorts, a vest with no shirt, ponytail with bald up front, ponytail down to the back, beard over there. I said, this is an organization that I should belong to.
There's this clam bake on the beach, and I show up and there's everybody, you know, Birkenstocks, but the thing that cinched it for me was there was a bootleg Dead tape that was the dinner music, and I turned to Cynthia, it's like, I have died and gone to heaven. I can't believe this is a lawyers group. This is so good.
Paul said, well, I'm going to designate people to go forth and multiply and go and start chapters. And he personally handpicked people throughout the country to go and do that.
Paul Tobias roll call. The roll call each and every beginning of each convention.
I've always loved listening to the national conventions, and in the old days when they called those states out, I got the biggest boot out of Alabama. Cast one vote for
Mother of Presidents, Buckeye State, Ohio, big for Ohio, Oregon.
We decided to put together an electronic bulletin board service. So we switched it over to the Institute for Global Communications, which is based in San Francisco, and operated it through there. They had things such as EcoNet and LaborNet and other similar kinds of nets. So we called it NELAnet.
Think back, 2000, 1999, there was no listserv. That's 10 years, and an entire community of people are now communicating and working together to make themselves better lawyers, better friends, and supporting one another.
It was wonderful to be able to, at midnight, as I was struggling before trial with a jury instruction, to post a question and to find the answer at 7 o'clock the next morning from 3 or 4 people from across the country.
I really credit NELAnet with being an incredibly wonderful tool.
Paul, being the visionary he was, kept this thing running from his office for 2 years.
And we got up to 800 or 900 members. It was time to hire an executive director. I was serving as everything, and somebody suggested Terry Shaw in Washington, and that seemed like a good idea.
Terry is such an energizer for the operation that nobody realizes how much is done with so little.
I feel so fortunate and so privileged to be surrounded by this fabulous team that we have called the NELA staff. We as an organization are very lucky to have them. And we have 3 people who will be celebrating their 10th anniversary when NELA celebrates its 25th anniversary. And they are our membership director, Colleen Gooden, our project manager and affiliate liaison, Karen Maoki, and our technology and office administrator, Pedro Valverde. I want to take this opportunity to tell them, on behalf of all of us at the National Employment Lawyers Association, just how much we appreciate their 10 years of contributions, their 10 years of passion for our work, and for making our work possible.
And I always felt we had to have a Washington presence to have an impact on the nation. And to get somebody like Donna, the pro, in Washington, to me is a great thrill.
NELA and Donna have really a lot of credibility in Washington. And it's not because we hand out money. And for someone to have credibility, or for an organization to have credibility in Washington, not based on handing out money, means that you're doing something right.
One of the organization's biggest accomplishments is when Congress passed the Civil Rights Tax Relief Act in 2004. We pushed for this bill for 7 years, and a number of people were instrumental in doing that. Bruce Fredrickson, our current president, Fred Gittes, one of our past presidents. We had NELA members contributing money to get this done. One of the things that I love about NELA is that everything that we do is a team effort, and this certainly was a team effort.
I see under Terry's leadership movement in the right direction with the commencement of the Institute. With Donna coming on board, we're beginning to see what the big picture is and where NELA can be most effective.
We are going to develop the Paul H. Tobias Fellowship Program, bring somebody in that's going to think great thoughts, that's going to do great research for us, and we're going to create new paths that don't even exist right now and advance the cause of workers' rights really throughout the country.
NELA is only 25 years old. I think it hasn't begun to hit its stride. I think the prime of life for many of us is in our 50s and 60s, and so NELA's got a long time before it hits that prime.
I think it's all been very exciting, and I'm just in for the ride now.
Don't stop.